We're at TVLine's Comic-Con Suite with the cast of CBS's Magnum P.I. Welcome. First, I want to talk about the elephant in the room. Something is missing from this series that...
I shaved it. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the comma in the title. talk about the decision to just do Magnum P.I.
You gotta direct the question up to this guy.
I think it was a Google issue, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Google, yeah.
It had something to do with like the internet search. If you searched with the comma in it, something bad happened.
Okay.
CBS
Something else came out.
dictated.
Or you could spin it as this is a leaner, meaner Magnum. We don't need that comma. We don't need that breath in there.
That's the best question we've been asked so far, though, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah, I wish we had a trophy.
The original Magnum, of course, was such a beloved TV character. What qualities did you feel were most important to bring to the role?
For Magnum, it's like this kind of easygoing charm, just, kind of person that both guys and girls want to hang out with, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's kind of what Tom Selleck embodied, so it's something that I try to bring to the character.
Talk about the relationship between Magnum and, first of all, the two guys, Rick and TC.
We're like war buddies. To me, it's like a brotherhood. It's a band of brothers. It's like we're there for each other, beginning to end. Anything we need from anybody else we're gonna be there for each other. So I mean, I think that's kind of like what defines a relationship. When you go to battle with people, when you go to war, it changes you. And one thing that people always come back from that with is that sense of brotherhood. So I think that's really important to the characters.
And Perdita, talk about what Higgins thinks of these yokels.
Well, I mean, I think Magnum is a bit of a fly in Higgins' ointment, in that she's trying to run this really sizable estate, which is worth a lot of money, and she's responsible for it. And Magnum is constantly appearing to do his best to scupper the status quo. But there is a part of her that misses a bit. She's ex-services. Mm-hmm. And she misses a bit of the adventure, possibly. And so there's something about, his shenanigans and what he gets up to and the great time that these guys have. She respects his service and their service and their camaraderie to a degree that, she's willing to kind of muck in as and when is needed.
Were you prepared for the physicality of the role? I mean, she's got some moves.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know quite how extensive it was going to be, but as soon as there was a mention of stunts and stuff, I just was signed up and said, hey, all the rehearsal time you need. I want to do as much as I possibly can because it's just so fun. Mm-hmm. The stunt teams are always amazing, and yeah, it's no different on this show.
How do the dogs behave? The dogs are kind of a key
That's a wild
aspect
card.
of the show.
Dogs and children are a wild card. And we had some fun.
Who gets along best with the dogs?
Well, me.
They're nice.
They kind of have to. It kind of has to be me.
They're ordered to be nice.
Yeah, kind of.
They like the accent.
Well,
no, they think it's funny. They think it's funny.
Genuinely,
Funny
the
enough.
handler is a Brit.
Oh, is she?
Oh, there you go.
Who moved to
Okay.
Hawaii? Genuinely, so maybe I don't know, we're similar or something. But they're beautiful, beautiful animals, incredibly well trained. So we're very lucky to have a great animal team.
Steven seems torn on the dogs.
No, I like the dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, you too.
They don't really pay you any mind though.
You kind of
they're so well behaved.
you
Like
have
you're
to
like, hey, come in, and they
focus.
just kind of just go off and do their own thing.
Yeah.
For the producers, the pilot is so high octane. Is it always going to be like that, or might Magnum have quieter cases?
Well, I think, for us, the fun of doing a private investigative, series in the genre is that it's there's action, but it's more character driven. It's not a big testosterone driven show. It's not a big action show. It's a case, it's case of the week show. But it's a thinking man's action hero.
So even though he's running across the roof of a truck that's plummeting over the side of a cliff in the pilot, that's not going to happen every Friday.
Not every episode, but that's also a product of having a $1 billion director behind the camera. But look, we're ambitious with our action, but it's really not an action show.
You do Hawaii Five-0 as well. Like, what is this show that Hawaii Five-0 isn't?
Hawaii Five-0 is always sort of a body drop. It's always like those big stakes. In our stories, they're smaller stakes. They're real personal stories. They're stories that you would go to a private investigator for, a private detective for. And it's just a different dynamic. We're also trying to shoot in different places on the island. We're shooting on the west side as opposed to town and some of the places we really have used a lot on Hawaii Five-0. So I think the show looks very different from Hawaii Five-0, even though it's on that small island. Five-0 has a very sort of big task force, big stakes every week. World's going to end.
Big guns.
Yeah, big guns. It's not about that. So far, in fact, we're writing episode 7, and Magnum has not really pulled his gun, which is really, that's really fun to write. Because it's different, and it's not like anything else on TV.
Has Mr. Selleck weighed in at all? Has he sent you flowers? Wishing you well?
He sent me his mustache in a glass case.
He should send you a cake shaped like a mustache.
No, but he actually, we've been in touch with him, and he's been actually very supportive, which is, I know in the past they've tried to do versions of it, and getting his blessing was always really important, and we got that, so we're very lucky.
Can I go ahead and pencil you in for crossover with 5-0, MacGyver, both?
I think that's
maybe go to New York for Blue Bloods and have a little funny moment there?
Even if we don't write it, we're going to end up having a crossover. We're going to run into each other at some point, but we are. There's a lot of crossover characters. A lot of characters in the 5-0 world that are crossing over already. In the pilot, our medical examiner on 5-0 is in the pilot of Magnum, and in the Kamakona's in the second episode. So we're trying to keep the world sort of like that they coexist.
And before we go, each cast member give me 3 words to describe your character, starting with Stephen.
Strong, funny, and stoic.
Oh, that's quite good. This would kind of work for mine as well. Okay.
You can repeat.
Ditto.
Bossy, caring, and misunderstood. Ooh.
Misunderstood. Okay.
Charismatic, mysterious.
Gorgeous.
Nailed it.
If she insists.
Crazy, loose, and loyal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Very
Good
loose.
job.
Very loose.